It's C-Doc again.
Well, hello, party people in the place to be. It is Tuesday night, and of course, it's time for It's C-Doc again. We are live and direct, coming to you through the intranets. And we have got another fantastic show lined up. Our guests are here. But before we get to there, I want to introduce, of course, my co-hosts that helped me out in this fantastic hip-hop endeavor. First up, she got her start in classic rap radio. Our lady from the heyday of K-Day and her new mascot, Jennifer O'Jenny.
Here she is.
Yeah! The commish.
And if she ever decides to shave her head again, well.
Is that a custom thing, or that just it comes like that?
I can guarantee that they go, oh, you want what? Okay. So here's the head, here's the body. Put whatever they said in her hand, right, and shove these glasses on her face, and oh, she wants this hair. Perfect.
Fantastic. There you go. Your very own commissioner. Fantastic.
There she is.
Yep.
The commish.
The commish. Holding it down in the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Also joining us tonight, one of the founders of a great podcast in its own right, People's Distinctive Travels, coming from New Jerusalem, ladies and gentlemen, Ultramatic 7.
What's up, y'all? What's happening?
What's happening, Captain?
What's happening? Hey, you know what? I got to give somebody a shout out.
Please.
One of our It's C-Doc alum, Dylan, sent me this T-shirt. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, nice.
After he was on the show, Chuck D, tweeted that, and then he made a T-shirt out of it.
That's great.
So,
fantastic.
Shout out to Dylan. Thank you, Dylan, and Full Plate.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that. Yeah.
Shout out to Dylan. Word up.
Yes.
And our other co-host is here, but he stepped out. So we're gonna wait just a second before we.
Here, but he's not here.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
All right. And our final co-host this evening is the man behind Hip Hop Gods Radio, the president of Rap Station, ladies and gentlemen, Flatline.
Flat Lizzo.
God damn.
What's up, buddy?
Just running,
The usual.
The usual, yeah. It's the same old, every week, same thing. It's like, oh God, no, it's time. Yep. So here we are.
Groundhog Day.
Hey, love the shirt.
Oh yeah, the daily operation.
Daily
I don't understand. Oh God, it's time.
My favorite Gangstar album.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, probably mine, or Hard to Earn, but also favorite album cover, like one of them.
Yeah,
right.
That's a dope album cover.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one of the few that people that his favorite Gangstar album is No More Mr. Nice Guy.
No. I'm going to say something great about that album. Go ahead, Flatline.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say you might be in the minority on that.
I am. It's all right.
No,
it's a good album, but it's not. To me, it's not.
Yeah,
quite there yet.
I understand.
I love that album. And then when I was in high school, we had a rap group, and we named the rap group after one of the songs, Two Steps Ahead. So I love that album. It's not my favorite Gangstar album, but I love that album.
Yeah. It's still my favorite. I mean, because
Antoine.
I mean, it's the only Gangstar album that not only has production by DJ Premier, but also
45.
DJ Mark.
That's right. So, but soft place in my heart. But I love all their stuff. It's hard to go wrong with Gangstar.
Right.
So,
of course.
Let's bring our guests in. Remind me later. I got something I want to bring up at the end of the show because Pear Smith posted on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw it. Some beat battle.
No.
And and So they brought on some producer, and he dropped his beat, and it was basically Ice Cream by Raekwon with different drums, and everybody went nuts. And I'm like,
What?
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So ruminate on that a bit, because I guess that's where we're at. But enough of that. We'll get to that later. Our guest. This is the what'd you say, alternate, the second Philly centric episode in a row.
Back to back.
So last week Tough Crew, this week we have the High and Mighty. Please welcome Mr. Eon DJ Mighty Mi to the stage.
Oh man, yeah.
Illadel in the house.
Yes,
We posted the Hilltop Hustler salute at the same time. That's how you know
we're here, son.
Word up.
We're very
Fantastic. There you
Oh,
go.
Yeah, he's all right. Go ahead, Ultramag.
You know I came ready.
I mean, how did you know that was about to happen?
I never know, but I just, I'm in the hip hop world here.
Crazy.
At the ready. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Real good, man. Thank you for having us on here.
No,
So,
thanks for being here.
Yeah.
we follow you, and we were saying Ultra Mag is a 7 is a real big Instagram follow and enjoyer. Like when you see different stuff, it's right up our 50-year-old alley and stuff.
Thank you.
Let's talk. I always like to start the show off with talking about stuff that our guests currently have going on right now. So, what's going on right now with you guys?
Mighty?
Well, I moved to Las Vegas maybe 15 years ago, started to DJ in the clubs out here. That was always kind of being a club DJ was always like the way I made my living. I used to use my DJ money to kind of finance early High and Mighty stuff. So I kind of went full circle and moved out here after Eastern Conference and been DJing in the clubs out here for 15 years. But then when COVID happened, I realized I didn't miss the nightclub scene. So that's when I knew that chapter of my art, being an artist was over. So now I'm up on Twitch, and I got a radio show on Sirius that I do called Then and Now on Diplo's Revolution, where I mix new stuff with the stuff we grew up on, kind of blending it all together. Still making beats and, still trying to be an artist, but we're now on the other side of 50. So doing that type of things that come along with being that age.
What on earth could that possibly be?
Never give up.
Never give up.
I've been in Philly for about, I guess, 17 years, since 05 or whatever, late 05, and I have a 17-year-old son. He's in 11th grade, and I've been doing real estate this whole time. So I still write and stuff, and keep up with things. But I'm a little bit more low key and kind of chilling, like in my other world, my other career that I've had at the time.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
So sometimes Mr. Eon don't know. Like sometimes I'll be in Reading Terminal and I'll see him over there eating a sandwich, but I just let him live. I didn't roll up on him. I'm like, yo, Mr. E, I just let him live.
Yeah, that was inner city, luckily with my jobs. But yeah, I used to be up in. I had right there. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's go back, because you mentioned Eastern Conference, and let's go back to the start of it all. And of course, you got the shirt on, represent.
Yeah.
There you go. So, yeah. How did you guys? How did this all start? How did you guys get together and start your hip hop journey?
Well, I was in 4th grade, 3rd grade. And this kid came in, and I went to a school, and he came in, and I hosted him. He used to host someone, like a new kid would come in. And so it was Milo, and we, so we known each other since we were 9. He went to that school. We went to school together, and as hip hop was born and like kind of was occurring, the early stages, talking about this is like 80, 83, 84, and kind of just being immersed in it, and then I guess following hip hop, and then we went to the concert when it was the Murphy's Law, Public Enemy, Beastie Boys show, and I don't know, that just that I freaked out from that, and it was like changed my life. Like we walked in, and I think it was like My Uzi Weighs a Ton was playing, and like Chuck D and Flavor Flav were like on stage. They had the suspenders, but they weren't up, they were like down, like they were like hanging, and like the S1Ws, and it was just like, what in God's name is this? It was like the Empire Strikes Back. I don't know how to explain that, or if that's anything, but it was. And it was just like, oh my God, it was like this impactful thing. And then we were in 9th grade, and he'll tell you his side of, kind of getting records and stuff, but we went and bought Public Enemy #1 12-inch, and then we used it, and like other beats, and I hooked up a couple things. We both rapped at a talent show in May of 1987. So that's kind of how that, we went to school, we went to college at BU. So we were able to kind of, like we were best friends, and we were kind of did all these different moves together of college, and then, eventually moving to New York City. So we were able to, like kind of come up, like we played Little League together. We played high school, we played the minors, and then we played in the majors, or whatever you want to call what we did. So we've known each other this whole journey, and it's been, it's dope.
Wow.
Mighty,
you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, our group is really a tale of like two best friends first, and then everything that came from that relationship, So as we built our friendship over the years, starting from 4th grade on, hip hop was always at the forefront of our life, but not necessarily like as artists all the time. When you listen to our music, you can kind of tell that it's two hip hop fans of the golden era, the generation that came before us, right, now making hip hop in our own right. But as you can tell, when you listen to our music, it's very genuine in our way. It's sports, it's being fandom of other groups, never really talking about things we didn't live, so High and Mighty is a very like genuine group, and not like a street sense and how hard we are and we're going to kill you. But it's two best friends who were very influenced by Philadelphia hip hop and then, New York hip hop. And kind of the thing that really made us believe is when we were up at Boston University, still doing demos, but being college students, and Bobbito came up to host some party from the Stretch and Bobbito show. And he came over my crib, and I was DJing for him, and then Eon came and rapped. And Bobbito really liked him and invited us to come onto the Stretch and Bob show and freestyle. So that little moment of him showing, that he believed in us is really what kept us going at the time. There were times where we were saying, oh, like our demo's not that hot, like let's just go on with our lives. But it was that moment that really made us say, like, wow, if Bobbito thinks Eon's a good MC, that's worth to keep going. So then I started doing demos. We started doing demos for the Stretch and Bob show. We came up on those Red Alert promos that JVC Force and the Chuck Chill Out promos that Deuces Wild would do.
Oh, man.
Those were very influential for us. So we started doing those promos for Stretch and Bob. And I would sample like Large Professor from Friendly Game of Baseball, like watch him run for the stretch, like stuff like that. And he started playing them. Then he started playing our demo, and it kind of went from there. But I always give credit to Stretch and Bob for breaking us and giving us that confidence that we needed, because the game's been so competitive from the beginning.
Yeah. What were you guys? How do I want to phrase this? Were you actively pursuing getting a record deal, or was the independent route? Because I'm guessing this was mid to late 90s now we're talking, right?
Well, we put out our first 12-inch in 96.
Right.
So kind of 94, 95 happens with Puff Daddy taking over the industry, and it kind of gets glossy. And the suits and everything, and the exact opposite of Ultramagnetic Records, and so the beginning of the indie rap movement was just kind of actually they were glossy. The beginning of the indie rap movement was kind of like a backlash on what was happening in commercial hip hop at the time. Yeah. So our first couple of records were just independent, putting them out ourselves. We did the Open Mic Night and The Meaning, which got a good response. Early Alchemist production with Open Mic Night. Yeah. People really took for The Meaning. But again, it was Stretch and Bob playing it every week that were like, wow, like, let's go on. Let's keep pressing records. And then we did the Smut Peddler single with Cage, One by One. So these records were really hitting on college radio. And then we really had the whole album put together before we got the deal with Rawkus. So it was a time where indie rap was like really hot for a moment. So labels like Tommy Boy and I forget some of the others, they were starting like kind of indie rap parts of their label.
Right.
Yeah.
We actually started having a little bidding war between Tommy Boy and Rawkus, and Paul Rosenberg was our manager, Eminem's manager, so that helped. And right at the last second, Rawkus came in right when we were about to sign with Tommy Boy, and they're like, we'll give you guys a label deal, 3 albums. We'll distribute Eastern Conference. I think we were the only ones with a label deal on Rawkus, so that was really what made it happen for us.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
I know you want to show something, Flatline. What are you doing?
Nothing. I mean, I'm just going through the stack of stuff I might have over here. That's all.
Oh, your High and Mighty records?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
I'll just say, I've told you both separately this, but in '99 when Home Field Advantage came out, man, it was like it reaffirmed my love for hip hop, because like we just talked about, things were shiny and polished, and that album dropped, and man, I just listened to it for like on repeat for months. So it had like it's I don't know. I could just go on and on, but I love it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
I think I first heard you guys. Remember when Bahama D used to have her show?
Yeah.
I think I heard you. Who?
Rich Medina.
Yeah.
We were the DJs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think I heard you guys then, and then and when did Footwork come out? When did Footwork come to Philly?
I think it was like 97, wasn't it? Like 98 or something.
Yeah, because then I was on the hunt for the record, so I go in Footwork or like Q Records, and I'm like, all right, I got it. So yeah, shout out to Bahamadia. So I didn't get Stretch and Bob, but I heard Bahamadia.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope.
I think I checked you guys out because of B-Boy Document 99, because I was like, what? I was like, because I always love the I always love the original
sealed cassette single. Just
Deal.
Shit.
Oh, that's what we doing? That's what we doing? That's what we doing? Okay. I got you, player.
We need to clue them in, because I'm sure
this is a weekly thing.
This is a weekly thing.
I know you guys flash Last of the items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
That's dope.
Battle of the Stacks.
You got this though. You got this. The promo joint. You got this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Promo tapes.
Oh, but you don't have the promo. Yeah. Okay. You ain't got the promo.
Exactly.
different from
That's
snippets, right?
Barbies.
Sorry, fellas. Sorry. We just get into it. We get into it.
Instrumental?
Who's got the
Instrumental.
Barbie?
He's got the rockets of the instrumental. Yeah.
You don't have that.
But Jennifer O'Jenny has the DJ Aladdin collection, right? From K-Day.
Yeah.
Don't
Nope.
talk about it.
We wish.
No, I do not.
She's got the Joe Cooley collection.
Right.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Eon, who did you listen to like to come up with your style? Like who did you look to as an influence lyrically?
I think first it was like Chuck D and kind of Rakim, and like I had the voice that was like, especially then when not a lot of voices, like they were, it was comparative to that. But then think really like Cool Keith, and like I think I started, to be honest, like I don't know, maybe probably like right at freshman year and stuff, like really kind of. Also that's when like that was a year like I went to BU and I went to Northeastern. We were both in Boston, but it was a little bit, we were always in the same city, but like it was different. And like I just remember like really Cool Keith and just like that he was saying anything. And like I was just like a Star Wars nerd and like, just saying C3PO and shit like that. It was just that's just who I was. So it was like I think a lot of that and just the sports like Mai was talking about. It's just like that's all we were into. It was like watching the NFL and the Eagles and basketball, like huge like Sixers fans and the college game and being local, you had like the local team. So it's just again a reflection of like Mai was saying, where it's just everything we were into, so it's like it's just a reflection of us.
Yeah. But props to Eon because you have one of, seriously, this ain't gassing you up. You have one of the best rap voices.
Thank
Yo,
yeah.
I don't know if people tell you that or get props, but you have one of the best and most distinctive like rap voices. Like if it comes, okay, that's Eon. You know it.
Yeah, I got that a lot. It's good because it's kind of like when you hear certain people. Like I just started hearing that the new John, who's the new Alchemist John. And like I was like, oh yeah, it's like it was Danny Brown shit, and I was like, oh yeah,
yeah.
You hear him, and like I'm like, yeah. So I'm kind of like the opposite frequency of that, but I get that,
right?
Of course,
yeah. Dope.
Whose idea was it to do the compilation album, the Eastern Conference All Stars? How did that all come about?
I think kind of like we had a lot of different stuff, and like the original stuff with Ill Advised and Rashid, and like I think Milo was really kind of like let's start grouping these together, and then start doing new songs for them too. So we kept, and then it kind of became easier when everyone was just doing songs for albums, and everyone, we were in New York, and it was like Cage was local and Copy was local, and Camus was local for a while. And so, yeah.
And like the vinyl business at that time was so hot, like you would sell like 35,000 copies of a vinyl single, so
right.
It was almost like you could, the goal was just to produce a lot of product. So you would strategize with Fat Beats distribution or Land Speed distribution on projects, and you would try to say, okay, well, this came out only on vinyl before, so it's the first time it'll be on CD, like that was kind of the thinking back then.
Gotcha.
Is to package these projects like in a way that it would go right from the mixing studio onto the shelves of Fat Beats, right? And so you were see direct artist to consumer, hand to hand. So I was dating a girl who lived like a block away from Fat Beat. So she would get up in the morning and go to work. I would sleep in, and then I would just go hang out at Fat Beats because the thrill of seeing kids like check out your record on the record shelves after growing up in Philly and going to Funko Mart and Armand's and all those stores, that was like the payoff of now seeing our records on the stores. And, maybe the generation was different, but it was just that thrill of the record store.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's,
No, he took me back with that one. That's Milo, didn't you work at the gallery?
Yep, we both worked at Foot Locker.
Yo, both.
88.
I got my stripes. Getting your stripes. You would move from the stock room out to the sales floor, and that was called getting your stripes because then you would wear a shirt.
Right.
So y'all got all the kicks, man. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's how I bought my first Techniques. I worked at the gallery that whole summer.
Yep.
Saved up all the money just to buy one to 1,200. That's how expensive they were.
Oh yeah. Yep. Wow.
And for those who don't know, the gallery was like this ill mall on Market Street in downtown in Philadelphia. And you would have Sound of Market was up the street, Funko Mart was like across the street. Later, what Armand's was like kind of behind it.
It was like a hip hop culture, like 6-block radius too. You had stores and all that. Exactly.
I think Armand's was called Gola before it was Armand's.
Gola Electronics, Gola Electronics, yeah.
And these stores would be owned by Israelis. So the front of the store would be electronics, and they were refurbished. They would say special deal because you're my friend. You're my friend. And in the back were the records, but
that
was the flow of those stores.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
That picture you just showed, Flatline? What was the back of that?
It's from the Air Force One EP. I guess it's an album, really. But
all sneakers.
Yeah, all sneakers, and taken at Central Footwear.
Yep.
All the photos in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Y'all probably got more sneakers than Bobito.
I don't know. Bobito's got a lot of sneakers.
It's almost depressing at this point because they just stay in my closet unworn. And Las Vegas doesn't have a lot of sidewalk culture. So I got like nowhere to wear them. It's almost depressing.
So you start a museum eventually.
Recreate the sneaker store.
Yeah, exactly. So
make it mobile.
So Raucous gives you guys a label deal, and so how was it being both artists at the time and also running a label?
It was fun. It was awesome. It was like we like the whole thing. Like if you look at the home field advantage, and it's different now. With you don't go to a store, you don't buy a record, you're not physically looking. Like you guys are pulling out the records. You can also unfurl the liner notes, and like we like really cared about that, and like each panel and like what it looked like. If you look at the back of the Home Field Advantage album, it's just like a calculated, like we made up what our rooms, the ultimate of our room would be like back in the day, right? And just that's just what we were. So we really liked that part. And then graduating to having other artists and doing things with people like Cage and Copyright and and Tame and Camus and everyone, and Mad Skills, everyone we worked with, that was another side of it. That was the whole business side, and that was always interesting. And back then you have your ups and downs and things, just with people being in their 20s and everyone aspiring to be like whatever they were aspiring to be, stars or whatnot, and everyone thinks, you know, a certain way. And like, it was very interesting navigating that with everybody. But then it was just so much fun, like going to Europe with everyone and, you know, doing all these, you know, adventures. So, you know, both sides of it were incredible and they were intertwined. And I think we did pretty well, and we still pay our artists, and we always will. It's funny. Wonder how many, you know, from that era, you know, pay people, but you know,
Right.
not a lot. But it's
the label's
good.
fault. That was the thing we learned back then. Is it's always the label's fault. So
Right.
the artist isn't selling, it's because of the label. So the way we ended up having sour feelings towards Raucous, the artists that were signed to us had sour feelings towards us. It was just kind of part of the industry back then.
Yeah.
At some point, right.
But what's cool now is a lot of the artists that we used to have beef with, they reach out now and they say, you know what? You were always fair with us. We had a 50-50 deal. You're still accounting to us. I don't have any reason to have beef with you. I remember RA kind of publicly apologized to me on Twitter a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was cool of him to do, but like he couldn't even remember why he didn't like me, you know. And
Right.
the common denominator
being
back
young.
then was just like you would have beef for the sake of having beef, you know.
Yeah.
You were always at some point, like Mai said, you were mad at the person who was paying you.
Right.
And
The
that
check signer
every
was a
single
bad guy.
person. If it was us, if it was someone, whoever was paying you, you were always mad at them at some point.
Wow. Go ahead, Doc.
No.
No, I just wanted to talk about some of the artists because, as you see behind me,
Yeah.
I have the Movies for the Blind poster, which is one of my favorite albums. I think Cage is there he goes. I think Cage is a super vivid lyricist. Like, I say, on like almost like Cool G rapish, the way, you know, being that vivid. But how did you guys meet Cage, and how did the Smut Peddlers like come about?
Well, he was just in the same scene as us in the beginning of the indie rap scene. It was actually a very tight scene where you would go to the Lyricist Lounge or the open mic night at, what was it called, Bobito thing? The New
Eurekan?
Okay.
Yeah.
New Eurekan.
So we went there. We saw Cage perform Agent Orange. It was right when Agent Orange was out. Everybody was sweating that record, you know. It's still brilliant all these years later.
Yeah.
And I think we just approached him through Bobito, like to do a one-off. Then the Smut Peddlers single had a good response, and that ended up being one of the albums that we signed to Raucous with the album deal. But it was always a plan to just do a one-off, you know.
Right.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was dope.
That seems to be the running thread. You guys were having a good time with all this stuff.
We were living out our dream, man. Like I said, we were such big hip hop fans first.
Yeah.
So then to kind of be living it, it's like when a high school player watches his idol growing up, then he actually gets to play in the NBA against his idol who's still in the NBA. So now like we're making records, you know, with Cool Keith and Cool G Rap, and it was just like mind blowing because these are the guys who we grew up on.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, how was it working with Big Daddy Kane on here?
It was amazing. You know, he was, I guess, a little bit out of his prime, you know, but I remember he had his brother, Little Daddy Shane, on it doing the chorus. And I remember I like overdubbed it with Princess Superstar, actually.
Right.
When I saw Big Daddy Kane years later, and he remembered, and he said to me, "Man, I remember you took my brother off the record." I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh no!
I said, "No, I didn't take him off. I just added the girl on it." And he was like, "I'm just joking with you," but yeah,
that's a nice segue. If I may take the floor.
Yeah, sure.
Going towards this,
Yeah.
I want to give both these gentlemen props because they may not know. I used to rhyme with Prince of Superstar.
Wow.
So when you guys did Bad Babysitter, that was a top 20 hit, like in the UK. Right. So that song took us all over, changed. I was there when she started working on that album. And then when it dropped, but when that single came out,
wow,
I know
that.
I figured you guys would know that. So I used to be on stage saying Eon's rhymes. I was Mr. Weintraub. I was Mr. Weintraub in the song.
Nice. That's awesome.
Right. So I think the first single off the album, actually you had two singles. You had Wet, Wet, Wet. I think Maya, you produced that. Yeah. And then Bad Babysitter. So, we would jam it to High and Mighty all the time.
Wow. Was Perfect on that album or that was the next album?
Which one?
Perfect, where the house guy took her vocals and made this huge hit with it?
No, that was the next one. Yeah. But you guys gave her first hit. I mean, that was, as she had, other hits after that, but that was her first hit. You guys did it. So thank you for helping me get my first passport and then taking me out of the country.
And that was our introduction to Mark the 45 King too.
Yeah.
Which had implications too. It was great.
Well, there's somebody else from your past who just popped in.
Oh, Beetlejuice's manager.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jennifer.
There he is.
Copy.
Copyright.
Copy.
Big Sean.
What's up, homies? What's going on, fellas?
How are you, sir?
Chilling, man. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Chilling, man. Just chilling.
Good, man. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir. Man. Likewise. Yo, I was trying to tell Jenny all about all the Beetlejuice stories that we had. Just all the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah. Didn't even make the DVD. It was just awesome. How to read
give a dog a bone. Dog's the bone. He would say every variation of what we asked him to say, except for what we asked him to say.
Mind blowing. Yep.
Man. When I moved out to Vegas, like people for some reason would call me Mighty Mi. They didn't understand that it was Mighty Mi. And I realized I went back and listened to the Smut Peddlers. Beetlejuice was the first one to say Mighty Mi. So he copyrighted that shit. No pun intended.
Man.
Oh yeah.
How did the Beetlejuice collab happen? How did that come about?
Forget how we linked up with him, but he I don't even know the first Sid that
I
we
think
met.
you stumped him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Both of them are like
I think it was something with Sean. Like at some point something happened and we linked up with his manager, Copyright, aka Beetlejuice's manager, Sean. It was this dude, Sean, who had played. He was like this big dude. He had played basketball at Seton Hall, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Yeah, and
passed away, right?
Yeah, he passed away, but he
Sean did. Yeah.
And like we did that, so it was pretty. And then from there it was just hilarity, all out hilarity. Can't really say much else.
I think we invited him to a show and he showed up and we were like so surprised that he actually showed up. You know what I mean? And we're like, oh, like this could actually happen where Beetle becomes the unofficial fourth member of Smut Peddlers.
Right.
Oh yeah, he was, man. That was the best show of all time.
Hey, I remember we went to a midget tossing in Long Island, and it was because that's what he would do. And we went there. It's almost like if somebody that you know is a rapper, and they're like, "Yeah, come check out my show." All right, cool. So we casually go to this midget tossing, and it's just like a line of people and like rafts, floatable rafts, and they're just throwing people. And Sean had like a whole lineup, right? And Beetlejuice was like his breakout, right? Didn't he have like a whole team of
He
like?
had a couple other small people. Yes.
All right,
I
so
think
let's change the topic. Let's change the topic. Let's change this topic before we get in trouble.
Well, how did you guys link up with Mr. Copyright?
Oh, this is Copyright's favorite story that I heard Megahertz, but I only liked Copyright.
That's not even what he's asking. Don't do that to me, Mai. I try to help out my friends. No,
well, like
I know.
said, the indie scene.
That's a dick way to say it. That's a dick way to say it.
The indie scene was so small, so you would just hear records on Stretch and Bob, and you would, whatever caught your ear, caught your ear. And I remember hearing Copy on those early Megahertz records, and I was like, man.
World premiere, yeah.
Yep.
Stuff like that, yeah.
I appreciate it. They gave me they helped me the fuck out, helped me not be a fucking gas station clerk at BP in Ohio. So thank you, Mai and Eon.
But in retrospect, Camus was so talented in his own right. What an incredible producer, man! Like we didn't really realize it at the time. Like kind of like the way I think of MF Doom. Like I wasn't necessarily so into his stuff when it was out, but now I just love it. Like I can't get enough. And that's kind of like the way I was with Camus a little bit. Like, of course, I knew that he was talented. He produced the last High and Mighty single we did. But, like, we would go out to California Pizza Kitchen for dinner. We'd come back, and Camus would have 5 Nighthawks beats done,
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome, man.
He made all those albums on my MPC 3000. He was just he was incredible.
To his credit, he didn't even have a sampler for many years. He was real dope, just bullshit and just fucking around on other people's equipment real quick. He didn't get his equipment till like later. He was a beast with that shit, man.
Wow.
Rest in peace, Camus, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hilarious, dude.
What speaking of equipment, what was the equipment of choice back then for you guys?
I was on the MPC 3000. Then my grandfather lent me money for a first used ADAT. And that was like the way you would record like the next level of recording. So I drove out to Staten Island and bought this ADAT for like $1,200 from this house producer named Anthony Acid, who actually produced like a Redman, Method Man house record. So I went out to the crib in Staten Island and picked up this ADAT, got back on that Staten Island ferry, and I knew that would be like the thing that like would propel our sound to, record quality type recording. So the MPC 3000 and the ADAT, and the rest was history.
I want to try to check in with another special guest. I see he's on the road, but ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck D.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there he is.
Good.
Mr. Chuck.
Whoa.
Salute.
I'm sorry.
Salute you,
I'm sorry
sir.
I'm
Hello.
driving, legends, but it's good to see the speak on JD's show. We knew that y'all was coming on the mixtape, and I said I got to stop by and salute the legends, man, for so long, man. And I used to run into you guys and your ads on remember the magazine Elemental in Atlanta, all the time that they always used to give you props in that. So big up to y'all. I'm driving, so you barely can hear me. I have a bad signal, and I'm in the transition of changing these crap ass iPhones. So that's that. That's these damn trash ass iPhones. But I'm just saluting and saying what's up, y'all, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are legendary in the field, man. It's like really for a time period, man. You guys were the blueprint of what we all try to do at Rap Station and You Don't Stop Radio Show.
Thank you, man.
Wow.
Seeing you at the Philadelphia Spectrum really changed our whole lives in 1988.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I can't hear you guys clear. Everybody's coming through everybody's coming through like Voltron, so I can't hear anything anybody saying. I was watching. I watched the stream on YouTube, and I can't jump over. And for some reason, it's like I'm the odd man out. We like got 8 people on the screen. So yeah, I'm saluting y'all. Say keep doing what you're doing, man, and keep getting us your music, man. You know, High and Mighty music, man, goes all the way to 2030, man. What's up? We taking it in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Me and
sir.
Eon was a plane years ago and was rapping and talking to each other, man. So yeah, man, we got it in and get it deep. So yeah, peace out, y'all.
Peace,
Salute.
man.
Peace, Chuck.
All right, Mr. Chuck.
Wow. What
Whoa,
a treat.
and we'll be sampling that. And we'll be sampling that.
Yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
please do.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gave him a little heads up. I didn't know where he was. Sometimes he's around, so
That's great, dude.
nice of him to stop by.
I mean, when he would rock that Sixer starter, you know, and be so pro Philly, like that was such a huge deal for us, at least on the aesthetic level. You know what I mean? Like that really made us want to intertwine sports and hip hop. You know, their style was so, and they were so sports centric also. You know what I mean? So there it is.
Oh man.
There it
Wow.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Here it is. Bam!
You know, Milo, I was a Sixers fan until I went to college. So I went to Drexel. And so when I went to Drexel, all the Philly guys were just Philly this, Philly that. You know, they used to have their black Reeboks and they tight hats on. And then all the New York guys, New York this, New York that. So I was like, oh, I'm from Jersey. Even though it's right across the bridge, I'm from Jersey. So I became a Nets fan. So that's where you get all the so
Okay.
I've been, you know, since Derek Coleman, Kenny Anderson, then Drazen passed, but right around that time.
You know, the owner of Big Beat used to have a little stake in the Nets or something. So all through the 90s, those Jason Kidd teams, I would go to all the Nets games with my boy Reef. You know, he produced some of the High and Mighty stuff and for 50 Cent. So we would go to these Nets games for like 5-year spans, have 5th row center court for all these incredible, the Kerry Kittles teams and the Richard teams. So I saw tons of good Nets games.
And we saw Iverson there a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Kittles is one of my favorite Nets, obviously, you know, with Villanova and all that, but I love Kittles. That was my guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about your back to Rockets? Can we talk about your Rockets experience? I'm always curious about artists and label relationships and how working with them, obviously in the prime of their run, and then as it went to something else.
Well, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about them ever, because like at the end of the day, they gave us, you know, all the opportunities we had in hip hop. I know like a lot of people kind of shit on their former label, or sometimes they get a bad rap, but like even when we left Raucous, it was almost like we had this meeting with them where we were both kind of fake angry, because that's the way you would split with a label back then. There had to be beef. So I remember like I stood up and Jared or Brian stood up and we were yelling at each other, but it was almost like we both wanted to go our separate ways, because we knew that there was kind of tons of money to be made for us at that point post Raucous, because maybe we had a little name for Eastern Conference, and it would be beneficial for us to become independent at that time and release Copyrights album and the Nighthawks album and Cage's stuff now independently, cut out the middleman. Raucous had kind of done what they needed to do for us by propelling us and putting all that money behind us. But I'm really proud to be part of that movement, you know, even though maybe we weren't Black Star or Pharaoh, you know, we still get mentioned in the light of the raucous era. So I think it was definitely like a cool movement to be part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Home Field Advantage is a classic, flat out classic album. Man.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. It was definitely a representation of the times. And like, just that, being like a compilation of so many different people like at that time, just coming up, and like it just showed how we linked with people. It was dope, man. It was a lot of fun, and we were glad to do it. It was dope.
And the raucous offices at the time was just like this hip hop heaven. You would go out and you would smoke bowls on the fire escape. Then you'd come in and you'd blast your new song for the A&R, and then Pharaoh would come in and you'd hear his new song. It's like the listening room at the raucous offices was a very kind of competitive space, but also like artistically joyous, because we were all kind of in our prime. And you would like make the beats. I would make the beats, on Lexington Ave in my crib. And then it would be like a subway ride down there. And it was straight like hand to mouth, listen to my shit, like, or meet an MC there and build a relationship through the raucous offices. So it's a shame that it kind of ended pretty quickly. I always say it was that spending $1 million on the Cool G Rap album that really ended them, Like Cool G Rap is the kind of artist where you spend, $50,000 making it. You want like the grimy beats, and and they were like really hard at that time to appease Hot 97, and they hired Cypher Sounds as an A&R, and I love Cypher, but when Simon Says hit so hard on Hot 97, they kind of felt like they needed to go in that direction. So they had Pharrell producing Cool G Rap records. Yeah. And it just kind of like maybe didn't fit at the time,
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Ian Mai, do you guys remember when we were at the studio when he was doing his Talk Like Sex 2 verse? And somebody was ordering food and they were like, yo, what does G want? And G's boy was like, all he eats is steak and shrimp. Like, instead of just saying I want steak and shrimp, he just said all she eats is steak and shrimp. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Shout out to G-Rap too. That's not a diss at all. I love G-Rap. But that shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey man, when you're G-Rap, you say shit. You do shit like that.
Yeah, you can do it. You can eat that.
Hey, you guys. Eon and Milo, you guys really seriously, I want to thank you guys. You guys put me in a position to be around, just like as a fan, like just being around all that hip hop shit was incredible. Like me and Camus were losing, like we didn't know what, like we were tripping. Like, dude, I remember one time I woke up, I went to a D&D and it's fucking Greg Nice. I woke up from a nap and it's Greg Nice rolling a blunt on the chair on the other side of the room. And I'm like, what the fuck type of hip hop like sequence shit is this? I mean, I just want to salute you guys, man. Like, I really appreciate you guys helping me out and doing everything y'all did, man.
Yeah, you deserve everything that came to you, man. You still are just a fierce MC, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah,
people are waiting on music from you guys, man. You guys need to, I'm speaking also because I want to hear some shit. And right now, the climate of music is all gritty, gutter hip hop. It's like what we do. It's what we do well.
It's kind of a good time, guys. Just saying.
It's like back in the day, you would do a 2-bar loop and some drums, and you would think to yourself as a producer, like, is this like good enough? Like,
is this good enough? Yeah, but nowadays it's like, they'll let the whole shit.
You bring in a keyboardist because maybe the sample and the drums wasn't enough. Now it's like that's like the norm, or maybe that's even overproducing now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if it is, especially if it has drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Mr. Chuck D wants to know, was the digital era helpful for you guys?
No, it was horrible. I mean, we would sell, the Napster thing. Remember, it was like in 1999, if our fans were like 18 then, they were in 16 or whatever, and they were spending their money on records. And once, in 02, 03 or whatever, Napster, LimeWire, all that hit, those kids, there was another way that they could have it without paying. And of course they did that. So I know, I don't know. I think this is, we went from 20,000 vinyl singles to, like 1,000 or something. It was not, like when that hit, there was that adjustment time. There was like the whole industry had to readjust. I mean, it's, and then it went into streaming, which is a whole other story. But, just buying, the records, the way it was done. And then, the kind of the regroup of like the industry. And like, in 1999, when our album came out, that was the most physical records ever sold in 1 year. Like that was the peak of physical vinyl and tapes and CDs. And so then it just went down. And then, so it wasn't good in my mind.
Actually,
like for making money and for units and stuff, like for independent, it hurt.
Yeah.
I actually remember that the exact moment where we knew it was over. We were in Amsterdam and we would go into these internet cafes and like you'd live for it because like it was when like the Eastern Conference message board was popping and you would see fans interacting but also it was when Napster happened. And I remember going into one of these internet cafes and Cage getting on the computer and going, look, Movies for the Blind is on Napster before it came out. And we knew that was the moment where our whole profit margin was going to be taken away. Because like artists like Eminem, they could afford to have 1 million people download their album for free because they were still selling 8 million. But for small labels like us, we knew that the illegal downloading was going to kill our whole profit margin,
Wow.
That's exactly what Chuck just said. He said he only asked because manufacturing records put a lot of companies out of business against the majors.
We would go to Cranberry, New Jersey, where Hub Servo was, and the early days, and like we would physically Milo would rent a van and we would go there and get the physical records and then we would go to Fat Beats and we went to our little, that was amazing. And but for us, it was just like, the digital thing really was different and was not good for us. And it was just, after like the windfall of kind of like the whole and the raucous thing, it was like, we did well. And then it was, for a lot of people, it just wasn't there anymore. But we know you have to adjust and then, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So home field advantage, then Air Force One, and then the highlight zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talk about that record a little bit.
Yeah. I like the highlight zone. Like for me, I thought that's when I rapped the most about more personal stuff a little bit and had some stuff. And I was kind of, felt like a little bit more of that stuff. But it was just a natural progression. And, it was kind of the same thing. And, we just kept, we loved, we kept doing it. And, like the integrating samples, in that record, I remember the one thing I was so into was the Matrix animated. They had this Matrix where they did like these short, like Matrix related, but it was like anime kind of, and this is like early 2000s. And I remember we sampled a lot of it for that. And, that's also when Mai got the first technology where you could put a sample on, like, remember the record? What is that, Mai? Where, like you could have your own voice, like of what you just said, and you could cut it. Was it like on real record or was it like on a Serato thing?
I think that was a CDJ. So you could burn it on your CD and then put it in a CDJ and kind of get the same feel of the turntable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would like mess around, but you could sample anything. So it was like, you could sample these weird, like, let's go. That's from, that a lot of that is from that.
Right.
And so it was just a continuation of using that weird stuff and like, like samples of like sports stuff and things like that. So it's just, it was more kind of stuff like that.
Eon always had the great ideas, like Eastern Conference Records and the High and Mighty are both names that he came up with.
Yeah.
And he would always have good ideas or stuff to sample. And it was definitely like the full embodiment of a two-man crew,
Yeah, man. And like with the DJ songs, like that was always one of our favorite parts of an album. Like, DJ Aladdin or whoever, and like all those great Johns. And so we were like, we're going to have that too. And like with the cutting in and like of things, we were just doing what we heard. And then like, it was like, we're going to do that. And like with Rozelle,
yeah,
like, a song with him, like, okay. And then I would be like, all right, now do Rocky and like do this Philly song. It was just like, it was like we got to really just make stuff, but it was all based on just it would be what you two would do. It's just we did it. It's like, if just two like people in that era and got to do what they did, and we're real lucky there.
Yeah. Did you guys get to tour on that for that album?
Which one?
The Highlight Zone. Were you still touring at that time?
Yeah, I mean, not as much as from Home Field Advantage, but we did a lot of Smut Peddler shows. It kind of all got like mixed in, like that 2000 to 2005 years. We were putting out so much product, like we had an Eastern Conference All-Stars tour with Copy and Cage where we went all through England. But yeah, it would just be like, oh, it's time to do Copyright's album. Oh, it's time to do the Nighthawks album. It was like a lot of one-offs. Yeah. It was all about that.
That's on the back here. Like, that's crazy. The amount of product that you guys were releasing is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. And
it was always about that. Advertising the other product on the back of coming soon.
Yeah. And like those tours would just be, we would be able to do all the songs. So we could do Tower of Babel. Cage could do Smut Peddler songs. Then me and Copy could do, Cheese Factory and like all this. So we could just do all these different like things with different people. So with me, Cage, and Copy, like we could do 20 different incarnations of things. So it was cool. It was unique, but it was like we had our little crew. It was dope.
Yeah. So what brought about the end, so to speak? I don't want to call it the end, but what brought about the hiatus, we'll say, or the switching gears?
Well, I think for me, I was in like 2003 and everything. Again, like I lived in Manhattan, and I think the money situation and the thing, like I had to pivot and like go to Philly, and like at that point in 2005, and like then I had I was in May of, I guess, 2006 is when I think it was. That's when I moved to Philly, but I had like a pregnant wife, and so like I was just bugging out about having a kid and not having the income I had when I was like just 2 or 3 years ago. So in 2005 I was in New York, and that's when I had a friend who had a real estate company. So I went and I got my real estate license. I was like, I went to college. I was like, I have to, I didn't know what to do. Like I was just, whatever. And so I got that. And then when I went to Philly, I had like a job in that. And I've had like this whole career in real estate for like, now it's like 17 years. So, I mean, I still write stuff, and, we are like, thinking of different things we may do. But, and like, always still love hip hop. And I think it was, I think a direct it has a lot to do. Like I would never like move to Philly and then like meet up with somebody and do a hip hop record. Like again, it's like my hip hop careerdom is very tied with Milo and doing that. So it was like a friendship thing and doing that. And like think, we lived in the same city from when we were 8 till when we were 34 years old. Like either it was Philly, Boston or New York. And I think, to a certain extent, it might have been that, but probably a little bit of me distancing myself from it. Just, I don't know. I was like, I don't know why. Maybe I was just like, with my wife and like trying to have a kid and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Like transitioning, like trying to grow up a little bit.
Eon became a grown-up, but I never did. That's really what happened. And now I'm kind of regretting it because, like, we're on the other side of 50, and Eon's got a beautiful son that's 17, and I'm just starting to think about maybe having kids. This is basically my kid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's really what it was Eon became a grown-up, and I moved out to Vegas and DJing in nightclubs. I wasn't ready to grow up.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not very grown up myself, so I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, just because the age number is there doesn't mean we're exactly grown up.
Yeah, I know.
Lord knows. Yeah.
Jennifer, I see your dog, and I raise you one 3-legged cat. Chevy,
you
the
won me
three-legged cat.
over. You won me over with that.
See this cute little scrotum?
I used to have a 3-legged dog.
Oh,
I have 2 3-legged cats.
Wow.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
Chuck
2
said,
other cats in the other room that could belong to you if you'd like them.
No.
Bring them
Chuck-
out.
Chuck said hip hop is the blues. It's an elder generation game skill wise. Mr. E, it's in your blood.
I know.
That's good.
I know. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Jennifer. You remember this review in the source for the Yak Fu Front?
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Look at that.
You know who wrote it? Mighty Mi.
Oh!
I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Wait, you were in high school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we went to high school with Shecky Green, Jonathan Schechter. who started
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Milo wrote that.
Wow.
Only 3.5 stars? Why? Come on, man.
That
That's
was
good.
after the what's the interview? The other one. What's his name? The dude who was on Rough House.
Yeah, that was my first review.
Larry Lair.
Larry Lair and the Wizard of Odds.
Oh, you did that one?
Right.
Oh.
Larry Lair, yo.
And the hype around him was so big because he was co-signed by EST from 3 Times
Yeah.
Dope.
Right.
Oh, shit, this is going to be another 3 Times Dope level artist. And,
And a lot back
And
then.
it wasn't, was it? I never heard
His
that.
his voice was the absolute opposite of Eon's. It's like,
I know.
whew. His voice was, oh God, his voice is annoying. I'm sorry, Larry Laugh.
I gotta check that record because I get on label, runs, and I'm like, all right, let me check out what's on Rough House because there was so much stuff.
I remember going there and Chris Schwartz was whining and dining me. I'm like 17 years old coming from high school. And he's like kissing my ass because he wants a good review for Larry Laugh. If you think about it, that was kind of like their first miss,
Yeah.
They were just hot as hell.
Yeah.
And Larry Lair and the Wizard of Odds was kind of like maybe their first flop.
Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Schwartz. I talked to him earlier today, so shout out to Mr. Schwartz.
Chris
Now, is
Schwartz.
it true he sells cars now?
No, he's still he has Rough Nation Entertainment. So
Okay.
Oh, word.
still doing records.
Oh, good.
Yep.
And
You might be
apparently
able to
he's
put out,
refinishing furniture right now.
And
Yeah.
refinishing for yes.
He might be able to put out the new High and Mighty album that you're going to release.
Oh, shit.
Really? Do it.
Just throwing it up
Eh?
there.
Yeah. Just saying. Just saying.
Have you guys done? So I was at the show that you guys did at Kung Fu Necktie, I guess reunion show.
Yeah.
Have you guys done anything since then, or?
Those we did 3 shows. It was like Boston, New York, and Philly. No, but I want to do more. We're gonna do more.
Okay, that was fun, man. To see you guys together again. That was fun.
Yeah, Eon sounds great, man.
When was
absolutely.
When was that show?
I think 2017.
Yeah, that was
So now, but yeah. Yep.
Copy. What are you listening to?
That wasn't me. What is that? That's Morrissey or some shit.
Oh, that was JOJ.
I'm on shit. Who's that?
That was Jenny.
That's Jenny's ringtone.
Yeah.
We haven't brought it up, but this is also another favorite.
Yeah.
I mean,
man.
I hope this isn't the last album, but if it is, it's.
No, I like. Yeah,
That's actually my second favorite out of the albums.
Yeah, me too.
I think Eon destroys that album.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little bit more mature, maybe. I don't know.
And you got Sean Price on 2 of the tracks.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep. Amazing. Yeah.
What was the vibe? What was the vibe like when you recorded that record?
It was insane. Like, he couldn't have been any cooler. And then I had him. I did this kind of like up-tempo album in 2016 called OG House, where I had a lot of the golden era rappers kind of rhyming over up-tempo beats, house beats, whatever. So
I still want that album too. I want that album.
And I did one with Sean right before he passed. And I still have the text message. He texted me and he said, I always keep you close to my heart because you and Eon were one of the first ones ever to pay me for a feature. It sounded so weird because you would think he had done millions of features, but I guess we were one of the first ones to hit him. But he was so cool, man. He'd come over the crib and remember that he would tell us about his real estate stuff.
Yeah, man. I took the train with him, and he was telling me how he had these barber shops down in the South, and it was just so smart, and like how he was like branching off, and it was just. Yeah, and he was just hilarious and beautiful. It was like he was just like, a man of all people. Mm-hmm. He could be in any room, and he was awesome, man.
I really like that song we did with him on 12th Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he did the hook for the one, and so those were dope, and it was just fun hanging with him and stuff. It was dope. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we were. What's the name of the high school? What was that drawing called? Loyola, right?
Yeah. Catholic school in Manhattan.
Another Chuck D question. Chuck D with the questions tonight. Has there been any surprises that have exploded out of the immense catalog that was slept on initially?
I had the Trump line in Dumb, like that was kind of cool. That meant something a couple years later.
Right.
But I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, Eon had Trump and Cosby lines like before it became fashionable.
What are the lines?
I just said some like raccoon hairdos for Trump, and then I forget. I think just like. Not Blair Cosby, but some kind of a Cosby like reference of some sort.
Not Blair Cosby.
Were there any albums that you guys put out originally that became critically reevaluated, so to speak, over time? Stuff that is that you thought, oh, this is gonna be great, and then it came out as like, but now it's seen as a masterwork. I don't know. That's
Well, I would say Tame's first album, When Rappers Attack. When people look back at it and they see that there's J Zone production and there's RJD2 production, and it's kind of like maybe it's because he passed away, but I feel like that first Tame album now is starting to be looked back on with kind of critical acclaim and realizing that he really was like an elite MC, who maybe wasn't appreciated so much at the time, but now that he passed, unfortunately, people go back and listen to an artist's catalog after they pass.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
we just reissued that album on double vinyl, and it sold out like immediately. We've been putting a lot of the albums out again on vinyl on a Italian label called Tough Kong.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just did Tame's album, and the last album I did with Cage called Kill the Architect. But we got to do your album copy. We got to reissue that one.
Let's do it. Yo, shout out to Cage, by the way. Salute.
Of course. Hell yeah.
No, let me say something. I'm a big Cage fan, but that album, Milo, producer, that you brought him back into a space where I was like, okay, I can mess with Cage again. That album was very good. I love that album.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hype style.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So can we ask Chuck D a question?
Yeah, of course.
What's his favorite most underground record out of Long Island?
Oh, you know what we were talking about? I'm going to throw this out there and see if he answers, but we were just talking about it because I sent him a copy of it. Where did it go?
Get Retarded by MC Easy, aka Craig Mack.
No, but that's a good one.
That's
No,
my-
we were talking about the Seriously Fine album. You guys remember that?
Yep. Seriously Fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, because I have it. Whatever. It's up there somewhere. And he's like, wow, I didn't even know you had that. So I sent it to him. Oh, there you go. Son of Berserk.
Yes.
That's what he
Hell
said.
yeah, he did it. Lord
What did he say?
Seeker. He redid that joint, the best song.
Tell him I love J Dub's theme, man. I used to live
Yeah.
for that song.
That's
They
the
Dub's
shit.
theme.
Hell yes.
We did that with Lord Seer, man. That was we love that song.
Yeah, J-Dub scene is
For that
dope.
shit,
Yep.
What about
He said the WBAU tapes too. So
what about Resident Alien, Doo-Doo Man? You know, Prince
Oh.
group.
ooh, the Doo-Doo Man.
I never heard any of that shit though. I never
Oh,
heard music.
Oh, copy.
that album should have came out.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
dope.
send it to you.
He goes, ooh, the Doo-Doo Man.
Yeah, that's
Yo, he said Russell gave him his own label, and he said he would only do it if he would call it Doo-Doo Man Records, and they let him go because he was trying to unionize Def Jam.
Paul's a madman. Yeah.
It's amazing.
We should have brought Sugar Bear on here.
Yeah,
He could have popped it.
Lord.
where is Sugar Bear
And
tonight?
talking about,
Don't
Strong
scare
Island
the
song.
mind.
Yo,
Yes.
G, ready to penetrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Milo, I talk to Sugar Bear regularly. I try to tell him how big that song was in Philly. Like Lady B used to play that, Ready to Penetrate. And
Yeah, man. That was
that was a heater. That was a heater.
What
Don't-
about you guys as far as
Lord.
Philly records? What are some of your favorite Philly records?
Discombobulator Boobulator by MC Breeze. You know that
Wow.
one
one?
of
The
mine.
dirtiest rap record ever made.
Nice.
One of mine is, although it's kind of Camden, it's "Kick the Ball" by
Yeah.
the Crown Rule. If
Yeah.
you lived in Philly and you understood how that record took over the radio, it was, it was up there with when Rebel Without a Pause hit in Philly. So it was like,
Yeah.
And obviously, our biggest hit, B-Boy Document, is a remake of the Crown Rulers B-Boy Document.
Right.
Ride the Crossfade by Jewel T. You know that?
Oh, word. Yeah.
Jewel T, $1 bill. Yes.
Yeah.
Gourmet track.
Yes. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Chuck said Kings of Pressure, of course. I love
Yeah, Kings of Pressure.
yep.
You know how to reach us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that joint.
Where did that come from?
That joint is ridiculous.
Is that
Kings of Pressure,
copyright?
Jennifer?
No, that
Come
would
on
be
now.
Yo,
That was me. That's the song has a beeper sound. It's Chuck's beeper.
Chuck's Beeper. Yeah.
Right.
But
Like-
Craig Mack, MC Easy and DJ Troop, Get Retarded. To
Get
me,
Retarded.
that's
Yep.
my favorite
Zoom,
underground.
zoom, zoom,
That's
zoom,
awesome.
zoom, zoom, zoom. Yes.
And then there was a very not known record in Philly called "I Go Rambo" by Nicky Rap and Scratch, which is like the most devastating. It's part hilarious and crazy, but then it's like the most vicious, like crazy. Wow.
And they were a female MC and a male MC, but they also both DJ'd.
Right.
So it was this crazy setup of a
You didn't know who was what, right? And it was the girl.
Both DJs and both rappers.
Yeah, and she was a DJ, and yeah, it was weird.
Wow.
And then they had songs where they both would rap. Yeah.
Rap and Scratch.
Rap and Scratch. Wow.
You guys know that record?
No, I gotta look that one up.
You know I know it.
Well, yeah.
I made videos of it.
Can you hear something if I play it off my computer?
I don't know. I don't know if it'll come through or not.
Stage. Speaker. To the DDX speaker. Not what I'm known for.
So hard.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That I Go Rambo.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yep.
What
You remember
year was that?
Storm? Ultra, The Storm by Double
85,
Image.
84.
Wow.
The Storm.
Double Image.
Oh, play that. You might have me for a second. Or maybe
Oh, I don't know why it's not here. The Storm.
you got name brand sneakers by Mr. Tuxedo.
Nah.
Remember that?
What
You
year
don't
is that?
remember that?
Nah.
Oh, that's like 80, maybe 85, 86. You remember Dancing on Air? The guy, Mr. Tuxedo?
Yeah.
He'd be on Dancing on Air. So he had a group called Mr. Tuxedo and the Floor Takers. And they were talking about name brand sneakers. Look, that's a Philly joint right there.
Different than MC Rel and the House Shakers?
Much different.
The Life of an Entertainer?
Much different. I bet. Wait, you don't have that tape, Flatline?
No, sir. I
Oh,
do not.
by the way, because he just another legend that we lost, Groove the Most, just passed away.
Yeah.
DJ Groove. Yo,
Yes.
man.
It'll do.
Man behind the groove is the joint. Yep. Hell yeah. So
No, I never knew this till like 3 years ago. The whole Ugly People Be Quiet, the whole routine was from another Philly record. They kind of Cash Money and Marvelous kind of bit that.
wow.
The Wheels of Steel
really?
is that's all from another record. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Oh,
Huh.
I used to like
Turntables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Mighty Hard Rocker was my joint right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Philly has
Eddie B, I'll take your radio.
Philly has some of the best MCs collectively come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And DJs.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The first rap star out
DJ Tat. Yeah.
the first rap star out of our city is a DJ, Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Yep.
Mm.
Rock the house.
He barely even said his name, and you're like,
I got 2 copies. What do you want?
dude, don't make me get up.
Sit down. Just sit down.
Uh-oh.
I hear that Will Smith book that came out, maybe a year ago is incredible on some Philly Golden Era stuff.
Really?
Talks about his relationship with Lawrence Goodman, and
Yeah.
Lawrence Goodman came waving a pistol, and Will's dad came out, and
That's
Wow.
crazy.
that's mean. Flatline.
What's the difference? Flatline.
He's gonna
I
say one's from
believe-
Japan. Watch.
This is the Canadian. Because
Told ya.
Canadian.
Oh,
Gotcha.
man. You got
Yeah, Chuck mentions Perry P. Perry
You got-
P is the Melly Mel from Philly.
I have it
okay.
on CD. I have it on
Yeah.
CD.
You have it on CD? You don't have the cassette.
No.
Uh oh.
Oh,
Oh,
What's
copies,
happening?
copies,
Oh, man,
copies,
this is
copies,
safe.
in the ring.
Copy's getting in the ring here.
Yeah.
What's he got? Yeah.
yes.
You guys.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we're showing tapes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I just
Sure.
We're showing tape.
just out at like our friend who is named Will B. His One Take Will. He was the DJ for the Goats. Remember?
Yeah.
That? So he recently ran for city council, and he had this fundraising thing, and it was and Schoolie D came, and then Tat Money came.
Wow.
Cosmo, who's like, I don't know if you know Cosmo, he's like a DJ in Philly, and it was just hilarious. I was just like, and Schoolie D was just dancing. It was hilarious, and it was just
Okay, Mighty Mi.
weird. That was just that was like last year.
Oh yeah, so
Mighty
Mike,
Mi.
yeah, you got to answer for the 3.5 mic review, ladies and gentlemen. Damage from Yag Fu Front in the house.
No.
Wow.
Talking about Chill Rob G tape.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What's good? What's good, guys?
What's up? What's up, D?
What's good?
Man.
Yeah. Got my ride the rhythm.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. All right, so what up, Cobby?
What up?
Yes.
What's good?
Nothing's falling.
Hi, I'm Mighty.
What's up, sir?
What up? What up?
What up,
man?
Yeah. I was right.
What's up?
Damn
Hey,
it.
how you doing, bro? I didn't even know that was you. How you doing, man?
Everything's awesome.
Look at that.
What are we doing? What are we doing with that? What is that?
Instrumental.
Tapes?
What are you talking about? The Yag Fu instrumental?
It's a mad tape battle right now.
That's what y'all doing? Tape battle?
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Guys.
Man.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I love
Nice
that
one,
album
Copy.
copy.
Oh
great.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Ain't no future in your front.
Reed
That's
is
the
mad
joint.
underrated.
New
That's the
edition.
joint.
Yeah.
Little new edition.
And do I need? Should I do it? Should I
Oh,
do it?
I know you're
Ultra?
gonna do it, Jennifer. Come on.
Do it.
What you got?
Low profile.
Low profile. Nice.
Low profile.
Hey, speaking of J Dub's theme, there you go.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah.
That.
is that Sugar Hill? What is that though? I don't know what that is.
Oh, Jennifer's got the Stetsasonic
Oh wow.
Oh,
What is that?
but do you
Red
have
45.
this? But do you have this?
What's that?
Pet sounds.
My,
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Goddamn.
Okay.
Cassette tapes have gone up 45% last year.
It's crazy, right?
You know, let's go back to that.
So
I don't know
anyway,
Anyway,
Oh,
Mighty Mi.
Nice.
Mean Ultra.
I didn't know you called me in to address the 3.5 mics on Action Pack. I was just listening to it now, 30 years later. It sounds pretty solid, especially with the instrumental. But I had no problems. I don't know what she's talking about with that. I'm fine.
It's all good.
I didn't say that.
Oh, C-Doc said it. You trying to?
It's a 5 mic album for me.
I can understand that. I mean, hey, all I know is I was just listening to the instrumentals just now, and you guys could probably all listen to the instrumentals and find yourself taking back. It's just it's the whole album instrumental straight.
I would like to hear that. Damage, yes.
Yeah, it's fire.
I actually had you come in because we were already talking about RA.
Oh yeah. Shouts out to RA.
And then Ultra said, "Hey, look at this."
Hey, Flatline, you ain't done nothing till you drank with Swayzak, so you can put them goats.
Damn it.
You put them goat steaks down.
Left
That's
field
a true.
bonus piece.
What?
I mean, you act like you ain't with me. No, it ain't like that. No, it ain't like that.
Oh, yeah.
Very dope.
That had all other lyrics to it, and they just put the wrong track on it. So I got a version of that where we're rapping, saying other stuff.
what was that? Yo, what was that?
That's left field bonus beats.
Yeah.
That was on the 12-inch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
I know Chuck is also a Chill Rob G fan, right, C-Dot?
Yes. Yeah.
I've heard him tweet about it. I've seen him tweet about it.
We put out Rob's latest album last year.
Oh, really?
On Chuck's label, yeah.
Wow.
Yo,
I was
Chill
so
Rob.
confused back then. How did you guys feel when all of that was going on? It was a lot of that and Fly Girl and Let's Go All the Way type stuff that I was tripping off of back then. Does anybody know what I'm referring to?
The power and all that shit with the power.
Yeah.
How they robbed the shit out of Chill Rob and shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
that shit pisses me off, man.
Well, okay, so the way it is we establish people as being more if they go ahead and take advantage clearly, or we wouldn't have the illustrious and world-renowned group Milli Vanilli. So if you think about it, every time somebody comes into a situation where they want to capitalize on it, of course they're going to take whatever they had. And yeah, the Fly Girl beat and Let's Go All the Way was a reverse. That was hip hop guys like, yeah, we're going to do that before they come out with it. And it was vice versa with the other scenario with Power. They took that from Chill Rob G.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So he actually, there's a song on this album. This is the album in question, called 1 Minute, where he talks about it. He tells the story of how it unfolded. The Jungle Brothers were on tour in Europe and called him and said, "There's a guy out here doing your vocals." Yeah, or your lyrics,
and 30 years later, it's a trend all over music now. They just take their old hip hop songs and redo them. It's fire.
Yep. So
it's not fire. It's fire though.
It's fire and not fire at the same time. Yeah.
It'd be fire if the dude could. It'd be fire if the dude could rap, but like the dude Freedom, whoever that fuck he was, like
I think
Turbo B.
Turbo B.
What do you? Oh yeah, that's it. What do you say? I take a phrase of something, then phrase it, treat it like a national flag, and upraise it, so a nation of people can feel proud about a brother who speaks out real loud. Bro, Court is now in session. Is my shit.
Oh,
the Locks love him too. He's dope as fuck, bro.
He's still dope.
Casual got some from him and shit. Cause me and Tajay, yeah, bro, we build on MC shit. Yeah, bro, Chill Rob's amazing, bro. Yo,
yes.
Mark the 45 King has a podcast, or he used to do this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Where he'd have to come on and
making the beat.
Watch the one with Chill Rob, bro, because Chill Rob's just kicking all these verses. You seen it?
Yep.
So dope, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Copy, you wanna? I'm working on Rob's new album right now. You want to get on it?
Yes. Yeah.
I can. That's easy.
Send me the beat.
Easy.
I will. Let me see what he wants you to
I
jump
try to
on.
get Eon. Look, I try to get Eon on the past album that dropped. I try to get him on this last one. So I'm
saving it.
I'm
saving it, man.
I want my feature, Eon.
Yes.
Yo, Eon's the one who got me smoking weed and shit. Technically,
yeah. We used to go to Europe, man. It was great. It was
it was when we were on the U.S. tour and we were listening to Jay Zone's album and we were just smoking weed out the bowl and I was bored and not with the weed head and it made the music amazing. The UK shit for sure. Remember we had so much weed on the way back. We were unrolling joints and eating them like shrimp. Me, you, and Kay.
We were just
look. Now we can talk about it. The statute of limitations is up. Eon had this dope trick where he would take he would get like a hygiene case, right, and take the plastic out and take all the dental floss out of it and shove weed in there and shit, and all this shit, and put it back together and take it back home. Not for everybody to sneak weed.
Pre 9/11, you could just have weed on. It was just like it was great.
That was so slick though. That was very slick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
man. We had a lot of I had a lot of we have a lot of shit, man. It's pretty. We're really lucky to have these experiences, and this is really refreshing too. To just be on here, I like doing these jaunts, and I do them, very infrequently, but I'm glad we were able to be here and do this.
No, this is great, man.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, you guys are welcome back anytime.
Sure.
And, we're all kind of hoping.
Yeah.
The next record.
Yeah.
Put that out there.
No.
Put it out there.
I know.
Mighty, hey, let me ask Milo something. Milo, would you ever put together a Weatherman album? Because I think it would have to be a neutral party, like somebody like you, with like, remember, like maybe me, you, Yak, Cage, Breeze, other people that are interested in being a part of it. Is that something you'd be interested? Eon, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Eon was supposed to be a member of it originally. There's a lot of politics and goofy shit going on with that. So anyway, would you ever consider facilitating something like that, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, Breeze alone, Breeze is still so nasty as a rapper, you know. I feel like, and he's so relevant still. I feel like if he kind of spearheaded it, you know, it could be really dope.
I've got him on my new album. No, absolutely, man. Vast, you know, it'd be cool, man. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that fan question. Where's the crickets coming from? Is that where you got the track? Is that the track from Aaliyah, 1 in a Million? You have an ice?
Nah, these are real life.
What the?
Like, this is real life, yeah.
No, I was gonna say those are real.
I knew it was
crickets.
you, Damage. Look, Damage. I knew it was you and shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
you guys aren't in touch with nature. You haven't gotten a chance to, you know,
no, that's just
hit the ground recently. Stay off the concrete, bro.
Bro, me and Camus were the biggest. Me and Camus were the biggest Yak fans, bro. Y'all had Yak front album? Action Pack Adventure?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, there it is.
They had the promo cassette.
Yep.
Promo cassette. Is Lena's Orgasm on that?
No.
It's the one that's the same as the retail. So it was a second promo cassette.
Yeah, there's a promo out there with that song, Lena's Orgasm.
Are we gonna start doing this again?
No, don't even. Yeah,
what talking about how dope Left Field is? How it's
we supposed to be talking about y'all and how dope y'all are. Yeah, because like the Weatherman idea where y'all do that and some more High and Mighty for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Hey man,
let me make some beats or something.
By the way, Ultra Mag, it's 10-0 now, Phillies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
10.
This thing will be over. It's gonna be a sweep.
Yeah. They're unstoppable, man. Well, this has turned into one hell of an interesting show tonight. DJ Mighty Mi, Mr. E, copyright, David from Yagfu. But
Thank
I mean,
you
it's
for
an
having
all-star episode. Yeah, like I said, you guys are welcome back anytime. Come back. We'll just talk about weird rap records and shit.
Yeah.
We'll do the weird rap record episode.
Hey, let's talk about the Cool Keith sessions. The Cool Keith sessions.
I'll tell you a quick Cool Keith story before we go.
Please.
Hey, we fly out to LA to do hands-on experience, the first version. And we go to this weird studio and we record it and we give Keith $5,000 in cash. That was the going rate back then for the upper echelon, you know, independent cat.
Right.
So literally 30 seconds after we give him $5,000 in cash to his manager, he kind of had this annoying Jewish manager. I could say that because he's Jewish.
He had the long hair. He looked like Emo Phillips.
He was very loud and nouveau riche. So he takes the $5,000 literally seconds after Keith had finished his ad-libs. And they divide the money on the hood of like a 1970, like, you know, Oldsmobile or something. They're tipping cash right in front of us. Puts out $125, $100 bills over there. Then his part, I'm like, damn, man, that was kind of tacky, but so were the times.
So were the times. Hey, what about the other one? I don't want to put it out there on blast, but remember when Keith was like, I need to rap with big words. Remember that part? That was all that shit that was on video. Remember Keith was like, I need a rap with big words. I'm going to go home and get a rap with big words. And his manager pulled out a verse out of his pocket, said, I got this. And Keith started reading it. You don't remember that part on the video?
I don't remember that part. I don't remember that.
That's crazy.
Keith.
You guys got to be shitting me because we're on camera. Remember he was like, I need a rap with big words. And his manager pulled out a rap out of his pocket. Maybe, that was the one Cage had. That's the video Cage. Was Cage there?
That's crazy. That's a crazy story.
That might have been the other one when we did like the Thug or What and all that.
Anyway, shout out to Cool Keith. You might have to edit this.
Why? Why is that a secret? No, copyright. You just intrigued. Wait, no, he just intrigued the crap out of me, bro. You just said, hold on, to reiterate. You guys have a story about one time when you were with Cool Keith, and he's like, yo, I need a rap with big words. I need to run home and get a rap. I'm getting this right? And literally, his manager pulls a rap out of his pocket that he had stashed.
Yeah, but I wasn't there. I saw it on video because they brought back the video.
Right, the Cage video.
I'm sorry, but that's so crazy.
It is great. I'll never forget it.
That's great. All right. Thank you, guys. Mighty Mi, Mr.
Thank
E.
you.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate you guys coming through.
All right, damn it.
Man.
Yeah. Peace, guys.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Ultra.
Copyright.
All right, Joe.
Check me out.
Be good.
Thank you all, man. All right.
Peace. All right.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it when the shows, yeah, exactly, Knackworth. I love it when those shows spiral out of control.
Wow, that show.
No, that was a good time. That was great stuff.
I had to pull damage off of a phone call.
You didn't have to.
I said, you need to get in here right now.
Man.
Freak him out. You need to get in here.
Yeah. That's great. There you go. And all of this is brought to you by the Spit Slam Record Label Group. The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound. Come in.
Nicely done, Jennifer.
The commish. Always good to see the commish.
Oh man, so great.
Oh man,
I love that.
Yeah, good stuff. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, real quick. Yeah, so no, I don't even want to get into that. We had such a good note. I'm not going to get into that beat battle shit.
Oh.
People jacking other people's beats. The hell with that. Not even gonna
Beat biters.
Yeah, beat biters. Yeah, whack. Anyway, you can catch Flatline and myself, along with Mr. Chuck D and a host of other fantastic DJs, on Friday nights on Rap Station for the Angie Don't Stop radio show. I played the Spit Slam Jam of the Week. Flatline has the Hip Hop Gods radio. And did you have a show tonight?
You bet I did.
Mm-hmm.
What? Give us a little taste of what you played this evening.
Okay, sure. What did I play? New Paul Wall and Terminology featuring CL Smooth.
Nice.
That new Living Legends single with Dell, produced by Static Selecta.
I got to check that out.
It's dope.
Excellent.
Obviously. New Keith Murray single, New Beneficence and Jazz Spastics featuring Doodlebug. A lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah.
Nope. And you can also check out Jennifer O'Jenny and Ultramag 7 along with DJ Soulbuck every Sunday for the mixtape, where they play the music of the artists that we feature on next week's show. And who do we have coming up next week?
Ultramag.
I'm supposed to know who's coming on.
Black Silver.
Black Silver, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Black Silver. Jennifer, we're so booked far in advance. I don't know, who's coming and who's going.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Good problem to have.
I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night right here on Channel Zero with JD from the Lynch Mob, along with his squad for Behind the Bars with JD. And I saw who their guest is, and I can't remember.
Tash.
Ah, yes. Tash.
Oh my God.
Tash from the Lick.
God damn it.
Yeah. JD, Jazzy D, So Chuckabye will be talking with Tash from the Alcoholics tomorrow night, right here on Channel Zero. Thank you for everybody joining us live, everybody watching on the replay, and we will see everybody else next week on another episode of It's C-Doc Again.
Goddamn right it is.